Yes, people, welcome back to the 1894 podcast. I'm Hugh and I've got Daragh here with me as always for this City versus Southampton preview, a chance for redemption to get ourselves back on track after that horrid loss to the red side of Manchester on the weekend. I'm really looking forward to it, just to get the derby out of our minds and get ourselves, like I said, back on track, back on the horse and challenging for the silverware we are so desperate to get our hands on. Daragh, what are your thoughts going into it?
Yeah, we're gonna have to start. We're gonna have to start well, match their tempo. They play obviously very high press and aggressive football. We're gonna have to do the same, which means that some players will be dropped, some new players will come in. So I'm confident enough with the right team selection. We should be fine.
I think for the first time in a long time, Pep has a bit of a headache in terms of selection in a bad way because
Yeah.
for the first time in a long time, a lot of players had a below par game. So players who weren't given a chance against United that we spoke about in our review will probably get a good opportunity in this game to put their hands up and say I should be in the starting 11 for these big games against United, which
Mhm.
is what we want to talk about here in terms of the back line. Laporte didn't feature. Cancelo came off early. Who do you want to see in the back four?
Well, I think he might play the same way he played against Gladbach. You'll have Walker playing pretty much the centre back. He'll get forward now and again. Then you'll have Diaz and Laporte. He'll have a left footer in there, and then Cancelo will just kind of move around, do what he wants like he usually does. So I can't see a down factor in playing him at left back at the minute if he's gonna invert anyway.
Yeah, see, Southampton, I think, will be like most of the teams we've already played against this season in the sense that they will sit deep and we'll have all the ball. They won't press high, and they won't really come at us with too much pace. Like I think their major threat is their set pieces with Ward Prowse on the free kicks and the corners.
Yeah.
Would you agree with me on that?
Yeah, definitely. I think they have big men in the box as well. They have Vestergaard and they have I think Salisul's quite tall as well, so they have people to aim for.
Well, that kind of would lead you to maybe slightly believe with Stones being a slightly bigger man than Laporte, and he's very good in the air, Stones. Would he possibly put Stones in over Laporte to combat the aerial threat?
There's definitely every chance, but I mean Laporte, he was rested for. I don't think he played against Wolves. I could be wrong there now, but I don't think he played against Wolves, and he obviously didn't play against United. So I think he'll play. Definitely, I'm nearly 100% sure he will play because you're gonna have to give him some time eventually, especially in the lead up to Gladbach if you want to keep playing him on the left side of a tree the way he has been. So hopefully he does get some game time. I can't see why you'd leave it, but you could leave out Diaz at the same time. So there's not 100% certainty here.
Well, like we always say, we're very fortunate to have three top centre halves that we can choose from. So I'm kind
Yeah,
of I'm kind of equally happy to see any of them start any partnership.
yeah,
Diaz, Laporte, Diaz, Stones, whatever. I'm cool with anything. But in terms of the midfield, we were very unimpressed with a couple of players in the middle of the park
mm-hmm.
on the weekend. De Bruyne being the major one. We were very underwhelmed with his performance. Sloppy errors, schoolboy mistakes that he doesn't usually make, and we're starting to question if it's still rustiness. We'll give him the benefit of the doubt and say it is because we believe he will bounce back and he will come back to top form and he'll be exactly what he has always been for us, which is a top player and leader. But we also said in our review, Dara, that the game was crying out for a Foden or a Bernardo to play the game because we were
Yeah,
lacking a lot of pace and
no
intensity.
energy.
So, what is your ideal midfield for this game to rejuvenate? But bear in mind, this game will be like a rejuvenation process. It's to get us back into that confidence in mind we were in and forget about the derby. Who would you like to see in the middle of the park to give us the best chance at that?
Now this would be my ideal one. This isn't what I think will happen. It'd be my ideal one to have Rodri. Then you'd have Bernardo and Gundogan either side, obviously pushed up. But I think he's gonna do what he can to play De Bruyne into form. But I just think he was so poor in that derby. He doesn't deserve to be playing this game. I think he like Gundogan, like Bernardo, what to do. He has to earn his place back in this 11 after that. After his actual last few displays, he hasn't been good really in any of the games.
No, he's not. He's not had the best season actually. If you look at it overall, he's had some stints of good performances and good displays, but in terms of consistency, it's not really been there. But
Yeah,
I still believe because he's such a high quality player that he will refine his form.
yeah,
It's just a matter of if and when. And we always question myself and yourself Pep's tactics for getting the best out of players. Should he drop them or should he play them back into form? Because many players react differently to different approaches. Like Mahrez seems to react well to being taken out of the team for maybe a game or put in the bench and then thrown back in. He gets a boost from that for some reason, and rather than being forced into playing well by being thrown into starting 11 6 weeks in a row.
yeah.
So maybe you're right. Maybe it is time to, even though De Bruyne's fit, he's able to play, take him out and give Bernardo the starting 11 shirt beside Gundogan. I fully back that decision you made there, Gundogan Bernardo, because Gundogan He's obviously not hit the heights he hit in January and February because they were
Hmm.
extreme heights, but he's still actually having good performances. He's
I
actually doing the
thought
basics really well.
I thought
Go on.
he was given a lot of not really unneeded stick, but I thought his performance against United was like they tried marking him out of the game and I still think he got into some great positions. I mean he could have actually scored one had he got behind it properly, but I thought he was very decent against United. I thought the midfield was just lacking the energy that Bernardo would bring to it, so he felt like he had to compensate for it. But if Bernardo comes back in beside him, I can't see why he can't keep playing well.
Absolutely, the derby was just one of those days, wasn't it? Where
Yeah, yeah,
Gundogan, he was making good runs. He, in fairness to him, he was putting a big shift in, and it was just like I said, one of those days where it doesn't come off. I think you alluded to the chance he had where it was literally just a case of the ball was a bit too far under him. He couldn't get a
got under
backdrop
his
enough.
feet.
He couldn't get a draw back enough with his foot to get a
Yeah.
proper meaningful shot away. So Gundogan I think is deserving of place in the team, and Rodri is a good player as well. So I'd like to see him play. But I do agree with the Bernardo thing. He adds
Hmm.
something that De Bruyne actually doesn't have in his all round game. De Bruyne is a very pace, powerful, skill
Yeah.
attacking player, whereas Bernardo, I always call him a Duracell bunny. The guy can run all day. He's lightning quick. He
Yeah.
adds a serious amount of intensity, and he presses really, really hard, which is
Yeah.
something I think our game on Sunday was crying out for. So it's worth throwing him in. But let's move on to the front three. We have been quite frustrated, myself and yourself, even when we were winning games with the front three.
Hmm.
Other than Mahrez, who's had a fantastic January and February, Jesus and Sterling, particularly Jesus, has been poor in my opinion, even though he's nicking the odd goal. But Sterling's been a bit hit or miss. So where do you see the front three going for the Southampton game? Who do you think we'll see?
Well, I think I'm not sure if Mahrez will start, but I'd like to see him still in. I think he's been the best. He's actually been the most informed forward out of all of our players. So I'd like to see him still in. But Sterling, I thought he had a fairly stellar month. I wouldn't be in the hit or miss category. I think that was fairly decent. But I know we share views on Jesus. He shouldn't be in. After what he subjected us to on Sunday, I don't think he should be in. He was just. It wasn't
No,
even the
absolutely.
penalty. It was just everything else. He just again, if he wants to be in the team, he has to earn his place in the team. It's like everyone. It's what Pep said at start, and he seems to have gone a bit soft on it.
Well, listen, it's another home game. It's in the
Yeah.
Etihad, so I see no reason why we play Aguero. I see no reason. I say give him a go. And we've just done a video on Aguero yesterday. You would have seen it. It was uploaded where we talk about his future at the club and where will he potentially end up. But this is a perfect opportunity to give him a go. Jesus will probably be low in confidence if he's in any way human after what he had happened to him on the weekend. So throw Aguero in, give him 60 minutes again like we did against West Ham, another opportunity. And in my opinion, Mahrez has to play because he's done so well. But on the left, I want to see Phil Foden. He's not featured
He
anywhere
has to
near as
start.
much as he should have been in recent weeks. Um, I'm happy to drop Sterling for even the first 60 minutes of the game and see how it's
Hmm.
going. But Foden has barely put a foot wrong since playing regularly this season, and I think he's deserving of an opportunity to prove that he should be in the starting 11. In my opinion, he puts away some of those chances, particularly the one that fell to Sterling's feet on the edge of the 6 yard box. I think Foden has the composure and the ability to put that in the back of the
Yeah.
net. So I say give him a go. This is an opportunity, like I said, to redeem ourselves, to get ourselves back on track. But let's be under no illusion. Southampton are a good team. They do have some quality players, particularly in their defense. Their defense is also a huge attacking threat, as we spoke about. So they're not going to come up and lie down and accept a defeat. And they also view us as probably a bit of a wounded animal at the moment, an animal
Hmm.
who is possibly a bit vulnerable. So I don't know where do you see their main attacking threats coming from? Obviously, Danny Ings is a huge threat. Jay Adams is a huge threat. Who do you think is going to be their threat?
Well, judging off just looking at my fantasy football, Ings seems to be out. You had the little orange marker on him, but yeah, Che Adams, I'm pretty sure scored a decent goal against Sheffield they just played. But like you said at the start, the set pieces, free kicks, corners, even I'm sure they have enough pace on the counter attack to try do us as well. But it just got that's what it's gonna be. It's gonna be set pieces mostly, isn't it? Just have to be composed when they get within our final third, not foul them. Then we should be okay.
Set piece FC, we imagine they'll
Yeah,
be because the
yeah,
thing is, we experienced for the first time in quite a while conceding an early goal against United, and it was clear
yeah.
that once you get an early goal against us, if you sit back and defend like your lives depend on
You're
it,
fine.
there's points to be got there.
Yeah,
So Southampton will probably, in my opinion, having
they
watched
go
the United
straight
game,
for it.
come at us really hard,
Hmm.
early doors, try and nick something and see where they can go for the 90 minutes. But
Yeah.
listen, we're looking forward to it. It's going to be a fantastic game. We're going to actually put our full predicted starting 11 on screen now. You guys can have a look at it. It's obviously one that's really up in the air and open for debate because of the performance of the weekend. So let us know for sure in the comments what you think the starting 11 should be, or if there's any changes you'd make to ours. But let's get a score prediction for this game, which is going to be, in my opinion, it's kind of a hard one to predict considering we've only lost one game in the last 29, I think it is. So, but I'm going to come to you first because I want you to take the reins for this one. I want to make my prediction after.
Just judging off the fact as well, they've been pumped over the last few weeks, except for the Sheffield match. I'll say 3-1 to see.
You think we'll concede?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I'm not sure if the confidence will be low or Southampton's will just be high, but I think there could be. There's. I'm not saying there's a mistake in anyone, but I'm just saying Southampton, like you said, they're not a bad team and they'll have the confidence going into it. I think that we could end up conceding.
Yeah, no, I think that's a reasonable prediction. I'm going to go personally with a 3-0. I'm going to say we won't concede. I'm going to back the team. I'm going to back the manager on the basis that I believe firmly they will be able to come together, rebuild that strong mentality they had, and really go for it this Wednesday and show that we are exactly what people were expecting us to be this season. The United game, which was a small slip up. So 3-0 for me, 3-1 for Daragh, and hopefully it's one or the other. I just want the 3 points, get ourselves back on track. But thanks for watching. We're going to wrap it up there. Leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe if you're new. We're on 140 subscribers, so we're 10 off that 150 goal by the end of March, which we'd really hope to hit, and we'd appreciate if you could assist us on that. Also, Dara's favorite time in my outro is the Discord link down below. We're always looking for new people to join the Discord. It's free to join. We chat about City all day, every day. It's good fun. You can help us with our ratings and our squad predictions, and it's just a good place to talk about City, really, isn't it? So thanks a million for watching, and hopefully we will see you following the Southampton game with a positive review and a good result.
No
Peace.
more rants.